What all too common trait do you find extremely unattractive in the opposite or same gender? Story 1. Guys that find general housework to be demeaning and beneath them, so they expect women to do it for them, while they sit there doing absolutely nothing. How can someone be comfortable watching someone do absolutely everything for them? This isn't typical, but I've actually heard a guy try to explain that this behavior is fair because if there was ever a home invasion, he'd be the one that would have to take the bullet and fight the guy off. I mean, a hypothetical situation that will probably never happen is the reason you can act like a pathetic douche every day of your life? What the F? I was just about to say this. I also get super annoyed when they say things like, we split chores, when that normally means she cooks, cleans, does dishes, etc., everyday chores, and he mows the lawn and takes out the trash, once a week max chores. Like, that's not equal at all. Unless one person works vastly longer hours, you should be spending roughly the same amount of time doing chores each day/week. Story 2. Hard to get. Turns to be hard to want real fast. As a woman, I've had a lot of people tell me I'm too easy. Countless men and women say I come on too strong, aka respond to texts in a decent time, have intercourse quickly if I'm feeling it, etc. The irony is I just weed out the people who are playing games really quickly because I don't play games. If they want to chase, they can go find a girl who wants to be chased. I don't have time to waste manipulating my way into an unhealthy relationship. I've had the same happen as a guy. People always make comments on how I ask women out/tell them I like them way too quickly. The thing is, I used to be the guy that waited so long that we became friends and it gets weird or they find someone else while I'm effing around. Now I make my intentions very clear very early on. Either you're into it or you're not. Had way more success this way. Same story here. Used to always be shy and afraid of rejection, so I'd wait for it to be the right time. To anybody else doing this, here's a pro tip. It's never the right time. Just effing do it. You'll feel better in the long run. Now, the moment I acknowledge that I have any sort of feelings, I let it sit for maybe a week or two max to make sure it's real feelings and then make a move. Which is usually along the lines of, hey, want to have dinner sometime? Or for more distant relationships, I hope this doesn't come off as creepy, but I kind of have a thing for you. You either get turned down right away and move on, or you get the green flag and go from there. My approach will usually turn off women who want a more aggressive or manly partner and will succeed with those who find it cute and enjoy a guy that can be that way, effectively weeding out the people who aren't my type, so it works out pretty well. Yeah, I feel like that can be a preference thing, as everyone moves at their own pace. But hey, if you move at your pace and someone doesn't respond well to that, then maybe that relationship wasn't meant to be from the get-go? Or maybe you need to examine why you moved that fast and, oh boy, this might be more complicated than I was making it out to be. Story 3. Messiness and having poor hygiene. I was recently told by a friend that his mom thinks of me as a clean person, and this isn't uncommon either. People always tell me how I don't stink like all the other guys. My secret? I just shower daily. Not to sound superior, because believe me, I'm not, but it's so easy to be clean, and people do notice. Edit. If you have a financial, skin, or mental health issue, 3 things that I never thought I'd end up grouping together, then of course that should be taken into consideration. Shower every day really isn't something people should have to be told. Like, it's pretty much the bare acceptable minimum, and like you said, it's so easy. I don't know why some people just don't. A little effort for hygiene goes a long way. Edit. I don't mean people who grew up poor or in abusive homes or have a skin condition or depression. I'm talking about the average Joe who thinks it's okay to clean themselves once a week because they have the mentality of, I can't smell myself, so I guess it's fine. And there's plenty of them out there. Depression or being raised by equally grimy parents, I've seen both in sweaty action. Story 4. Just general toxic/jealous behavior. No, I do not want to sleep with a barista because they asked my name for my order. Yes, I was told to treat as I wanted to be treated as a child, so I will be polite and smile to others from time to time. This does not mean I want to shag every human being I interact with. I had an ex exactly like this. I was once in the hospital getting stitches and they accused me and the doctor of flirting with each other. I'm sorry, but someone was doing me a favor and I didn't want to sit there in silence? Sort of the same, but the female nurse only asked if I wanted to shower that day. I actually wanted to and said yes. She was present, but just sat there staring menacingly. Nurse tells her that she can be the one that showered me, then look changed completely. Kind of an awkward exchange, though. That's just so weird to me. Nurses are there to do their job and take care of patients, not steal your man. I hope you're in a better place now. Jealousy has always felt a little counter-relationship to me. Like, if you feel you have a reason not to trust a person to that extent, why even be with them? And if you feel that way with every person you're with, maybe you need to talk to a professional about why you have those trust issues, because that stuff could really sabotage your future happiness. Story 5. Talking loudly. Not quite screaming, but damn close. Loudness in general. People who have the TV volume blasting very loudly, people who like to make phone calls with a loud TV in the background, people who talk loudly while someone else is on the phone. I just think loudness is a very unattractive quality. Also, and I know some people don't have control over this, but speed. People who are all over the place and don't spend more than 2 seconds on one thought. As someone with ADHD who works in customer service, it becomes very, very frustrating to help someone who doesn't stay in one place. Very unattractive quality. Edit. I feel like I should say something about people with hearing loss/HOH. That's different. At least to me it is. I'm talking about loud, abrasive, and rude people. People who don't seem to understand the social contract. People who have zero social skills and don't know how to talk to other people, especially those in the service industry, without screaming and or yelling over others. People who think that they have something very important to say and have to talk over everyone else to say it. I've dealt with HOH/hearing loss people, and I have no problem adjusting my voice to accommodate them. Some things can't be helped, and I get that. Edit 2. People, I'm not personally attacking anyone. If you can't help it, if that's just how you are, or if you have some sort of affliction, I get it. Not everyone is the same, and I struggle finding the words to convey that it's a very specific type of loud person that I find unattractive. Live and let live. A lot of those people come from large families where being loud is a survival strategy. So it becomes their normal, and it's a difficult habit to break. This is nonsense. I come from a large family, but I'm not a loud person. Shut the F up. I'm trying to watch TV. This is actually something I've struggled to get better at. I don't know why I talk loud sometimes and project, though sometimes it's for comedy or I'm just passionately making a point, but I've definitely tried working on just being quieter. Story 6. The inability to admit they are wrong or when they apologize and then justify their actions. It depends on the way they justify their actions after apologizing, though. It could just be an explanation of why they acted or thought the way they did to give some insight on their thought process so you don't assume they're just genuinely stupid. There's a fine line between explanation and excuse. I've never understood why people hate others explaining their mistakes. Explaining the thought process helps identify the step that led to the mistake and helps with getting it right the next time. Why is that so bad? Edit. Since I got many similar comments, I will try to reply in more detail about my comment. I put mistakes in 2 categories, emotional versus non-emotional. Emotional mistakes are ones that hurt others' feelings. In most cases where one person is clearly in the wrong, you should not explain these mistakes because explaining is missing the whole point and causing more hurt feelings. If you forgot your significant other's birthday, you should not be explaining why. However, with non-emotional mistakes, for example, work, study, parenting children, not listening to explanation or even justification can be harmful and counterproductive. For example, if a child lies to their parents, it's more crucial for the child to explain/justify their lying than to hear them say, "I was wrong." Another example, if a coworker admits their work mistake, no longer shifting blame, it's important to learn their explanation/justification to find the false step in their logic. Story 7. Feeling the need to post on social media constantly and pretending that they don't care about it but obviously care a lot. I've been turned down for dates because I don't have any real social media accounts, no Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. It was baffling. Some people use social media as a background check, so I wouldn't take it personally. Exactly. I had a friend ask what he could do to help with a date after a 5-year relationship. I told him to post on social media so people can have a sense of who he is. It makes people feel safer. You can't catch every person you shouldn't go around, but you can avoid those incapable of faking not having red flags. Story 8. Crap talking to others to make themselves look better. Can the opposite be true too? People who crap talk to themselves constantly? Definitely not to be confused with people who generally have low self-confidence, though. A person can both have low self-confidence and openly crap talk themselves, and it can be unattractive, unfortunately. They do say confidence is one of the most attractive things in a person. Trust me, I act confident all the time, and with the support of my partner, I actually believe myself now. Story 9. Littering. You'd be surprised how many people don't give an F and throw crap out of their car window. It's disgusting. Edit. I'm glad so many people feel strongly about littering too. If you don't put trash in your pocket until you find a bin, you're the worst. I carry it uncomfortably as I don't want my pocket dirty. When I was in basic, I went to grab food with a roommate. On our way back, he threw some garbage out the window, so I told him that if he does that again, I'll drive back and make him pick it up, or he can walk the rest of the way back. Needless to say, I was considered to be that guy when it came to littering. Crazy how littering is so normal for some people that when you confront them about it, you're considered to be a weirdo. Story 10. I don't like when they guilt trip me. Oh yeah, wow, you would say that? My cousin lives in Africa and you want to complain about dinner? Wow, okay, Satan. My ex almost joined the army a few years before we met, but didn't because he said the training sounded like super hard and you went and watched a war movie with your housemates? You're so effing insensitive, Brandon. Story 11. Shouting at their partners in public. You would hate my parents, LOL. I feel the same way. Oh well, I've been guilty of doing the same, and it's one of those things that makes me feel like crap about myself every time I remember it. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them. Remembering embarrassing things is painful, but it's part of learning the lesson. Hey, we've all screwed up in one way or another. The thing that actually separates the good people from the crappy ones is a willingness to learn and grow from those mistakes. Story 12. Anyone who takes any advice, disagreement, constructive criticism as a personal attack. Alternatively, people who try to justify personal attacks as constructive criticism. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry you take everything so personally. I'm apologizing. I'm sorry you can't take a joke. Story 13. People who do things for clout and don't actually care for being genuine until they need something from you. Person gives homeless man X amount of money and he cries type of video. Don't show me that crap. Give the man the money, feel good about yourself, and F off. Don't give it to him and expect me to praise you, you attention seeker. It absolutely is a good deed, but it's never done to solely help the guy. It's done for internet praise. Rice gum making it rain on a homeless person is classy generous. Story 14. Acting stupid for attention, or self-deprecation for attention, like Buddy. Well, there goes 99% of this site. Self-deprecation is like humor writing. It's possible to pull it off in a way that's genuinely funny, but very difficult to do. Most attempts at both fall flat and just become cringy. Fun fact, a lot of humor writing in comedy is difficult to do well. Want proof? Try to watch half the cartoons Netflix is greenlit. Story 15. Pushing you to do something you don't want to because everyone does it and it's fun. Seriously, what the F is up with dancing? I don't get it. You get to rub your dong on a chick's butt. Why? Story 16. Being oblivious to different economic circumstances. Good on you for having the patience and understanding to explain, and good on him for actually listening and trying to understand. Some good people are all up in here. Yes. Or poking fun at it. I hated dating while poor. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day. Story 17. Playing hard to get. If you like me, just effing tell me. Stop beating around the bush. Or when you ask them out, they say no, and a couple of months later they tell you they are interested in you, but they just wanted you to insist more. Once someone tells me no, I'm done. I'm not going to start harassing you. I never understood that. When I ask someone out and they say no, then I expect that to be the answer. I'm not going to be one of those guys who go around harassing women when they don't say yes to a date. No, something that almost all women I know hate. It's quite simply a form of narcissism. People who do this like the feeling of being sought after and go to these lengths to get people to chase them. People who watch too many romantic comedies and sitcoms. In real life, this kind of behavior is reserved for people far less charming than... Why is my go-to for this Ross from Friends? What does that say about me? Story 18. Oversharing on the internet. When I was 7, I pooped in a cereal box and put it back in the pantry. Mikey likes it! Okay, but I love it because of how embarrassing people can be. This woman keeps breaking up with her boyfriend and finds out she was pregnant when they broke up. and gets mad at people who are all for their on-again, off-again relationship. Even my boyfriend loves the updates she so freely gives up. I only know this all because she posts it. Story 19. Narcissistic. That goes for both genders. Overconfidence is really nasty because it usually means that they think everyone, including you, is beneath them and treat you accordingly. I have enough enemies who try to put me down to lift themselves up in my life to not date one of them. Edit. Seeing as many people didn't like the word enemies, I'm here to explain. By enemies, I mean a-holes in general. Definitely a fine line between good self-confidence and destructive overconfidence. Story 20. Everyone says they want their partner to be super career ambitious. Screw that. I say put in your 40 hours, then chill. I want someone who knows how to relax. My partner told me that I'm the first partner who won't let him work himself to death. I don't understand that attitude. Don't you like to spend time together? Now I'm wondering if I should tell my partner to work less. I just support whatever he's doing and enjoy him when I see him. I feel like there's a lot of nuance and complexity to this one. Like, what are they doing? Are they working that hard because they feel they need to, or they are passionate about it? Was this known before the relationship? Is it necessary? I don't know, so many factors to consider, but the best I can think is, it is healthy to have a work-life balance, folks, so do that. Story 21. Men bragging about being violent. Bar fights ain't attractive, honey. These people are baffling. Doesn't make the other guy like them either. If you're in a fight every time you go out, I'm pretty sure you're an a-hole and I don't want to be wherever they are. I agree. As a guy, I actively avoid guys like that. Exactly. Like, you really think we want to date someone with a temper like that? What if they make you mad one day? You're gonna hit us too? Think, guys. Think. Story 22. Chewing with your mouth open. Dude, it drives me crazy. Or just in general, making that awful smacking sound when you eat. I would rather die alone than have to listen to that at every meal. Story 23. When they think that their taste in music makes them a superior person instead of just having different tastes. Applies to both genders. Edit. Phrasing. Bruh, this, not just music, but clothes, favorite TV shows, or YouTubers. I mean, you say that, but did you know that being a fan of Mainly Facts actually makes you better than other people? It's true, I swear. Story 24. People being obsessed with their social media presence. Story 25. For me, it's the girls who constantly say, I'm ugly, and then you tell them they aren't, and then they go, no, I'm really ugly, and it just goes back and forth. I can't stand it. No, you're not ugly. People just avoid you because you smell bad. Did you hear that, Patrick? We're not ugly. We just stink. I'm so poor. Dude, you live in a 3,200 square foot house and you go on vacation twice a year. Yeah, but I don't have a yacht. I'm poor, and I hate being poor. Story 26. Fake tans, like the ones where they look orange. I've seen both men and women walking around like they're hot crap looking like an Oompa Loompa. For real, people to be walking around looking like Abraham Lincoln on the penny, and it looks so bad. Fake tans are extremely popular in the South. I find it so unattractive, and I don't understand the desire to have legs the color of roasted baby carrots. Story 27. Being rude to waitstaff. This one always manages to find a way onto lists like this. And for good reason, too. If you are rude to waitstaff or customer service people, you're a pretty unattractive person. Sorry, but it's true. Story 28. Lack of compassion. They only seem to care about themselves. Story 29. Desperately trying to be unique. Unlike everybody else, I don't try to be unique. It ain't easy. Sigh. Story 30. Inflated egos, entitlement, incapability of being humble, and making fun of yourself. Story 31. I'm just too crazy. Not like other girls. Story 32. The alpha mentality. When someone even uses alpha or beta unironically, I automatically assume they're insecure as F and are a piece of crap. It's a red flag for basic human interaction. I had a coworker once who was talking to me about his thoughts on what men should be like. Already a conversation where I had to keep wrangling my eyes from rolling too far. But then he unironically said, now, I know most people view me as an alpha, and I laughed so hard our supervisor came over to ask me to quiet down. My coworker was not happy with me. Story 33. The whole, let me push all your buttons, you're wrong, I'm right, I do it because I think it's funny to rile you up shtick. Then repeat it immediately. And when you ask them to stop, it's all, guess I just won't have fun or joke around anymore, and then avoid talking to you at all. Story 34. Refusing to do anything they think is considered more feminine because they think it's gay. Not washing your face doesn't make you straight, it just makes you crusty. I may have some biases since I do lean towards more feminine guys, but there's certain limits, man. Story 35. When they can't take no for an answer. That is a pretty broad statement, but a lot of guys have trouble taking no. It can go from slightly annoying to really scary in a heartbeat. Edit. By broad statement, I mean that it goes for both genders. However, because I am a girl, I only ever encounter guys. Story 36. Always on their phone. That crap annoys me so much. I want to talk to someone while looking at them. When they are constantly on their phone, it makes me feel like I'm talking to myself and is awkward as F. I have to admit, I had a little stretch in my life where I was like this. I was just out hanging with a friend one evening and he said, "Man, I might just head home. You seem too into whatever you've got going on your phone." And that crap was a huge wake-up call. I'm thankful he called me out because I deserved it. Story 37. Habitual weed use. I encouraged the decriminalization of marijuana, but holy crap, guys. High isn't supposed to be a personality trait. Damn, this connected with me. I have a date tomorrow with a nice young lady, and I told myself I wouldn't smoke at all tomorrow so I could have a legitimate, genuine moment with another person. I also want to remember every detail because I'm crushing on her hard, y'all. Story 38. Lip filler. It's super popular right now, but it just grosses me the F out. Same, I'm not interested in someone who looks like they've recently been making out with a shop vac. Story 39. Toxic positivity. I need to be able to feel bad for a moment when I'm dealing with something crappy. It helps me get through it. I dislike people pleasers too. Be kind, but don't be a doormat. Story 40. Squeaky little girl voices, especially if it's on purpose. God, and the ones that do the cringy baby voices? See, if it's an affectation, I'm not a huge fan, but if her voice goes up a bit when she's excited or I tell her she looks good or something, I find that pretty cute in a woman. Yeah, it only gets to me if it's something they're putting on to get attention all the time, but I don't know, I do weird voices too. Crap, just listen to me on this channel. I don't know, I guess there should be a balance, but I don't hold that stuff against folks too much unless it's really overdone. Story 41. Acting like being a bee or being edgy is cool. Then people say, wow, they're so empowering, they're a boss, they're savage, they're confident. No, Becky, they're rude and arrogant. Story 42. Being needy and acting like you're the only human in their life. Like, please, give me a effing break. I didn't adopt a 37-year-old child. 444 months. Thanks. Story 43. Making fun of my appearance even as a joke. It's a giant red flag, and I won't date anyone who teases me about it. Story 44. Spitting. Just grosses me out. Wait, do people really spit habitually around potential romantic partners? Like, I grew up on a farm, spent most of my formative years doing manual labor, am generally uncultured swine, and therefore have been known to hawk a loogie when I'm working or whatever. But if a girl saw me spit, I'd honestly be pretty mortified. Yeah, when I'm out on a jog or biking and I get a bug in the mouth or just that really gross, viscous saliva when it's really hot, I've been known to spit when no one is around, but not something I make a habit of around others. Story 45. Acting thirsty or making naughty innuendos early on. Nothing dries me up more. Just reminds me of that old college humor sketch. I'm going to make it so dry for you, my mouth is going to be like sandpaper. It's going to feel like getting a mouthful of sand. Story 46. Smell and poor hygiene. No one smells just because they are a dude. They smell because they don't clean themselves. Excessive body spray is not an alternative. Story 47. Lack of emotional intelligence or ability to be able to take a step back from a situation to see things from all sides, but instead take everything personally and only hear part of what someone said, then shut people out, preventing anyone from discussing a solution/resolution to a problem as a team. Instead of sitting down and having a discussion over a problem, they disappear for weeks, then make relationship decisions all on their own, come back, then tell you how they're changing the relationship dynamic without your input, without talking to you about it. So, blocking out communication before making important decisions. Story 48. Over-talking. Not having a give and take in the conversation. Story 49. Thinking that acting antisocial and toxic is empowering or something. Story 50. Using your partner as your therapist. Man, I don't know why I attract the broken guys, but every date I've been on where it went past the first date, they start telling me about their disturbing thoughts, and I'd be supportive, but I'd internally be screaming because this was supposed to be a fun time and I didn't emotionally prepare for this. They're animals. I killed them, and not just the men, but the women and the children too. I hate sand. My girlfriend is breaking up with me and all I did was unload all of my problems on her. How could you do this? You turned her against me? You have done that yourself. Story 51. Men or women, I've seen both, that are entitled and lack empathy. Biggest turnoff ever. Story 52. Thinking they're quirky for doing white girl crackhead energy things. Dabs in Walmart. I'm such a crackhead. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that the right voice for it? Is that what they do? I'm such a crackhead. Story 53. Acting the martyr. Story 54. More of a general trait, but extroverts that think there is something wrong with you for being an introvert. Chill, people. I am not depressed. I just don't like going to the bar every effing night. I find more enjoyment staying home, playing video games, or reading a book. Going out with people is exhausting. Nothing wrong with me, I just don't need people around me all the time to be happy. Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.